So today we're going to paint a water can sign with hi. The first step is we are going to paint our round. You are going to use the sponge paint, the sponge brush, and some of the brown paint. And what we're going to do, we're going to basically stain it. So you're going to need a paper towel in addition to the paint and the brush. And once you paint, you just wipe with the paper towel. And you just paint left to right, paint a little, wipe, paint a little, wipe. You can see how the wood grain really comes out in the wood once you wipe it. It just gives the painting a little more texture than just painting it a solid color. Once the background is painted, you're going to put that aside and we'll start with our little pieces. So I am going to start with the hi, and then I'll move on to my flowers and then my watering can. I am planning on doing, everyone has different colors. I'm going to do my hi in a darker color and my water can in a lighter color, just so we have maximum contrast, so it really stands out. When you paint your little pieces, you'll probably need to do 2 coats, depending on the coverage of the paint, and always stir around that paint before you start painting, because a lot of times the paint settles a bit. Once I finish painting my flowers, I'm going to go back with a darker color. I'm using that dark purple, and add some details to my flowers. I'm just trying to get so it isn't a little more texture, a little more something interesting. I'm just adding darker lines to accent those petals. And I'm using my small brush to do this. Once again, I'm going to go back with a darker version of the color or darker color, and I'm just going to add little details to my watering can. I'm just taking this teal and just highlighting some of the the spout and the handle of the watering can. It's almost like a dry brush technique where I just put a little paint on my brush and I am just brushing it in a bit. It gives it almost like a weathered effect. I'm also going to do this to my high. I'm going to go back and put some little details on my high. So my background is dry, and now I'm going to use the watering can to draw some stems and leaves that I'm going to attach my flowers to. So I'm just going to use whatever green I have, and from the top of that watering can, I'm going to put 2 lines, one on my left and one on my right. And those are going to be my guidelines. I'm going to have them going up and out. So now I'm going to take away my can and I'm going to fill the space in between those 2 lines with little stems. So I start at the bottom and make little lines going up. If you have 2 types of green paint, you could use 2 different types of paint. You could also mix some colors if you'd like to make different kinds of greens. So I'm just making lines that go from the bottom to the top. And since I have 2 color greens in my palette, I'm just going to add 2 colors of green on top of there. And I'm just going to fill in that space. We have 3 flowers, but it'll just be like greens in a vase. Once all my lines are finished, I'm going to let all the pieces dry for a bit. I'm just putting the can to make sure it fits. Once all the pieces are dry, we could start gluing. So I'm using any type of glue. In this part, I'm switching from a tacky glue to just an Elmer's. And you could use whatever glue that you have on hand. Even school glue will work. Hot glue doesn't always work, but I would use any kind of Elmer's that you have. So you're just going to put glue directly on the back of each piece. I'm starting with my watering can, putting that down, so that the stems and everything appear like they're coming out of my watering can. Once I put my flowers down, I'm actually going to go back with my small brush and a little bit of green paint, and I'm just going to add some more stems, some more leaves, try and make sure like each flower is connected to a stem. once you're finished gluing and painting, set it aside for about 30 minutes and then it should be ready to hang up. Hope you guys have a great and happy spring.